My name is Amy. I own Amy Lynn Interiors based out of Boston, Massachusetts, and I am so compelled to tell everyone about my time blocking. My schedule before, I'll admit, I had a leg up on all of you people who don't use Google Calendar like it's your Bible. And for me, my Google Calendar but it wasn't efficient. It wasn't, it was a very reactive calendar instead of a planned out, thoughtful way of running a business. And during time blocking, I would just kind of fill it in as the day went, just so that I could use it for invoicing and tracking and logging out my hours per job. But since using the time blocking and being able to be kind of like the owner mindset, so I have like owner blocks, and then I've got my management blocks, then I've got my team building blocks, and then I've got the training blocks, and then I have my design blocks. I hadn't realized how little I was working on my business and how much it was needing my attention. And then that was one big aha moment when I was doing the time blocking. The second aha moment was, I'm exhausted at the end of the week and I feel like I got nothing done. So I'd look through my calendar and I'm like, what are things that I'm doing that I can delegate to another employee? What are things that I can delegate to a junior designer? Is there a system for that? And if there isn't, because I've been handling it, I need to write a system for it. So anyways, it not only allowed me to manage my time, but then it also allowed me to delegate my time. And that for me was huge, because now I'm able to really revamp the marketing side of my company that I didn't have time for before. Let me rephrase that, I didn't make time for. So now with the time blocking, I know how to make time for things that are important. How has this helped like my freedom? I would say my husband in the beginning used to say that I loved my job more than I love him, which is, I think I love them both the same amount, but I do, my job is my baby. But I've realized that not only time blocking for my business, I time block to hang out with him, and I time block to be present with him. I make an effort to go on vacations with him, and because of my time blocking and the systems, it all like piggybacks on top of each other. It's allowed me to truly be present with what I'm doing. And one tip that I just realized was I also need to time block on to digress from meetings and make notes and kind of like talk about my gut and like how things that I read or things that I felt in that moment. And for me, that's also helped me kind of process the meeting for what it was and then get to the next step if there's any improvement. For me, I'm an emotional designer. That's not the best thing for everyone, but I think reflection is really important. Another thing about time blocking is my meta time. Meta time can be a whole nother video of why that's been so life-changing for me, but it's forced me to make time for what's important, and now it's just second nature. Let's see. My business, from having a consistent schedule, has allowed me to really capitalize on my process, which is behind me. So each phase of my projects, I know how long each part of the process is going to take. So that's also allowed me to manage more projects at once, or scale back on certain projects, or communicate better that this is getting a little bit delayed. I need to pause for a week and a half until I have my other projects that kind of can pass this so I can be fully present. So it's allowed me to have better conversations. And what would I do before time blocking? I didn't think it was gonna work for me because I had so many different things and I was juggling so many different things at once. I didn't think it was gonna work. And the reason why it didn't work is because I needed help. So it was a great way to see what I was doing each week and where I needed help. Because once I started to kind of build my schedule, Sean, great, would be like, okay, let's make a calendar for a marketing position and let's see how many hours you can fill up in that. And I'm like, game on. And then he's like, all right, let's make another calendar for design and let's see how many hours you can fill up for that. So it really started to kind of like piggyback into other areas of the business where I didn't realize I should have hired someone yesterday. I thought I needed a designer, but really I needed someone to do sales. So it's just very interesting. I would recommend putting a solid month into getting the time blocking kind of started and then reflecting on it each week. Because that was really, there's a lot to chew in the beginning, but once you've got your time blocking done, actually, before I end, that's my calendar, not the green, just the gray. But the time blocking each week has really allowed me to make what's important for me stay important. So with that being said, time blocking all the way.